Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Knowles, and this is the Nerdic Gods podcast, episode 208. Joining me as always, Daniel Neveroli.
What's up, gamers? What's going on?
What's up, Daniel? How you doing, man?
I'm all right. This is our 4th year anniversary episode.
Is it really? Wow. 4 years. Damn, we went through high school with this.
Uh-huh. You've had to deal with me for 4 years.
Wow. Jesus. Oh, am
rough.
I fired now?
That's rough.
Am I gone? Jesus. Get rid of me? Damn. All right. I respect
No,
it,
you're gonna kill me. That's what's gonna.
Oh, I'm going to kill you? Okay, you can be locked up in my basement with the others.
How many people you have in your basement?
Well, let's see. I had 3 podcasts before this, all centered around video games. Those also lasted 4 years. So there's 2 other hosts down there for each of the podcasts. So what is that?
You've been podcasting for 16 years?
Yeah, never made it big either.
Wow.
Never broke through. All with 1 American and 1 British guy too.
It's impressive.
And they're all locked in my basement. Still alive. I feel.
Is Sims in there? Is that where he's been?
No, not yet. Not yet. I gotta throw him in there with you to torture you. It's like I'm not gonna
have to be together.
Right? Yeah. That way. Well, what I'm hoping is build a small army, and then maybe you guys will all turn around, all 16 of you or whatever it was, and then you'll come to love me. Like, you know what? He might have kidnapped us, locked us in the basement, but should be a little appreciative. Yeah, not a bad guy. Pretty nice when you get to know him.
Yeah, criminal, but not bad guy.
Criminal. Who's to say? Who are we to say what the law should be?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's like kidnapping. Is that really that big a deal?
I don't know.
No. Daniel, I watched like 3 episodes of the live action One Piece show on Netflix. Have I talked about this?
Maybe.
I don't know if I have. Anyways, I'm gonna talk about it again. So I watched 3 episodes of it. Really enjoyed it. I was like, oh, I'm into this. This is cool. Cool setup and stuff.
I was watching the anime. It's on Netflix.
And then what happened is I started noticing everyone in the show looks like a character out of Lazy Town. Do you know what that is?
Lazy Town. That sounds familiar.
It's like a live action Nickelodeon kids show with puppets and people,
Okay.
And everyone like has a wig on in that show, and they look like super disturbing. I don't know why. It just like really bothers me.
Uncanny.
And so I started noticing that in One Piece that everyone looks like that, and I couldn't watch it anymore. I literally just had to drop it, turned it off. I was like, I can't do this.
Did you try the anime?
No, not yet.
Not even the anime.
Well, because I heard Netflix is remaking the anime in like a shorter way. Have you heard about this?
No.
Yeah, so
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, I'm sure fans of the show wouldn't, probably not. I mean, the original guy is apparently involved with it, so take that for what it is. But if you guys, pretty much the Dragon Ball Z Kai to Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. And if they're doing that, I'm like, I'll just wait for that.
I hear a lot of mixed things about Kai though.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like that they took out the filler.
Or that there was like some things that they liked that was taken out. I have never watched Kai.
Well,
so
you take out the Piccolo and Goku get the driver's license episode. It's like, what's the point?
I mean, that's top tier art.
Top tier.
That's art.
It's top tier right there. Yeah, it's like you can't take that out and consider it Dragon Ball Z still. It doesn't count.
No.
Well, One Piece is just that is way too many episodes. It's just
it's over 1,000.
It's over. I can't do
what
that.
I'll say though,
I can't do that.
What even Sloan told me is that it's actually slightly shorter than most anime, which are usually about 20 minutes. He said that there's like a huge intro every time and a huge outro to every episode. So like it actually cuts down a lot.
Skip that.
So
you're probably getting like 18 minutes.
Yeah, it's probably like 18 minutes an episode.
It's not bad. Still a lot.
It's still a lot. Yeah, you're watching what, 3, just average 3 an hour. I mean, you can get through a lot if you're like committed. But 1,000 is a lot of episodes.
Yeah, I don't know if I got the commitment for all that.
Yeah.
It's cool though. I never knew what One Piece was about. So
pirates.
I was like, oh yeah, pirates. Yeah, going after that One Piece. Daniel, it's been another busy week in the world of video games.
Yeah, PlayStation talked, but I still don't think really had much to say, if I'm going to be honest.
Well, so let's get into that at the top.
Yeah.
State of Play happened this week. Rumors of it happening last week. I didn't think it'd be this quick.
Oh, quickly?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
maybe
yeah. We were
this week is
talking
what I was thinking,
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or
Like
this
coming
coming
into
week.
the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too. But no, we all woke up on Monday and they were like, "Hey, there's State of Play on Wednesday." Great. The entire thing leaked. I don't know if you saw that.
No,
uh,
I was not.
it
Yeah.
leaked, and the guy that leaked it did it in like some poem. You know, he was trying to be all cute with it. You know, where he was
Okay.
he leaked like every title that was there in like a poem and whatever. People decrypted that. And
Weird.
it's like, come on, buddy, like
Say what the games
get
are.
over yourself, like you fucking idiot. No one wants to just say it. So yeah, pretty much everything leaked, which I thought took a bit, at least for me, it took away a bit of the steam from it, a little
Sure.
bit. So like at the top, I thought it was a good State of Play, you know, especially
Pretty solid. Yeah.
considering the quality of majority of State of Plays, right? I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is pretty banger. But the leaks did take away from it a bit for me.
Yeah. I think it's just I think a pretty solid showcase.
I
Like,
think
I
this
don't
is
think
what
it,
they should be, you know, like
yeah,
aim for this, you know, at the very
pretty
least,
much.
right? Yeah.
A lot of them are just kind of smaller games, or maybe one big third party game that we've seen before. That's usually what they
Kind of
are.
a
But
lot, man. Like Judas is a big deal to have there, right? Death Stranding 2, obviously a big deal. And it's like,
yeah,
yeah,
I think
those are things you wouldn't typically see at your average State of Play.
yeah, for sure. I do think that Ken Levine's just kind of trying to get his game out there right now, so he's on any stage he could be at, Game Awards, the State of Play. I wouldn't be surprised if he can get his way into like an Xbox showcase this year as well. Like in the summertime. So like I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to be everywhere. So
Take Two's
get
like, you
that
took 10 years with this thing. We're gonna market the shit out of it, sir.
everywhere. Yeah,
We're marketing
this game needs to sell.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
uh,
Yeah, good
so
show.
what were
I
your
think a
like
good
high
show,
level thoughts?
but
Good. You thought it was good too, yeah.
good. I don't think it was particularly like great,
Sure.
but I think it was good. It's pretty solid, like a 7.5, I'd say.
It's funny because it kind of shows PlayStation's standpoint where they are right now. It was like very much highlighted in this State of Play. So they are very heavily relying on second parties and third party exclusives, and and they like only showcase that in the State of Play. Where's the fucking first party,
PlayStation
man?
doesn't have anything.
Where
They
what
don't
is
have any
going
games.
on?
Nothing.
It's
And then
so
at the end of
weird.
this, yeah, at the end of this, they're like, we got another surprise. Oh, it's another third party game.
Yeah,
It's getting another
in the
State of Play.
Which I was
It's
expecting a rebirth
Rebirth,
one,
yeah.
yeah, at some point.
Makes
But
sense.
I kind of thought
Deep
it'd be
dive.
here almost more. But
Me too.
good. I guess it's cool they're having a big deep dive on that. I'm not gonna watch it because it's way too close to the actual game, but cool enough.
I don't really need to watch it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. It doesn't. I don't think their quietness does them any favors.
No, certainly not. I mean, certainly it's seeming like for this year, unless Concord is coming out at the end of the year, there is no PlayStation first party game coming out this year. At
Wild.
least that I could think of, unless there's like something I'm missing. But yeah.
Wolverine was the only one, right, that had
Yeah.
the chance.
Well,
I
and
think.
now we know that's coming out in 2026. So it's like,
Yeah, not even next year. That's
okay.
crazy.
So it's like, I don't
Where's Ghost of Tsushima 2?
exactly. It's like, are they worried at all that you guys currently at the moment don't have that big third person PlayStation game to promote, to sell PS5s with,
Yeah.
to give people something to look forward to? Obviously, people know Wolverine is coming. I don't know if like casual audiences know Wolverine is coming, I'm sure a lot of
Yeah.
people think Death Stranding is that, but I mean, we'll talk about that later. That's not till 2025 now. It's just, it's so odd, man, because you guys have studios, It's like we could sit here and name off all the PlayStation studios, and we're like, we either don't know what they're doing, or we can
Guess.
yeah, we can guess, an educated guess on what they're doing, right? Like you just said, Ghost of Tsushima. Sucker Punch more than likely working on Ghost of Tsushima too. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's pretty crazy right now.
I mean, the only thing I can think of, it has nothing to do with this year, is that they're relying on Death Stranding 2 and GTA 6 in 2025.
Yeah.
Get through to that.
It's just there's no way we can make it. I'm more worried about 2024. Like we
Yeah.
cannot make it into 2025, and you guys don't have something ready. Like Ghost of Tsushima 2 got to be ready in 2025. I guess 26 is possible. That was a 2020 team, but like
Yeah.
I don't know, because like what would be up is the 2019 teams, right? You would think, and that does
Bend.
line up with Death Stranding, even though that's the second party one. Bend is a good example.
Unless
do.
they're in development hell.
Well, we do know they were rebooting the whole thing in 2020 when the main guys from Ben left. I forget their names at the moment. So them, I guess I'll give them a little bit of leeway because it's like, okay, they kind of restarted. They're probably hiring up a lot, yada yada yada, all that. So I guess I wouldn't necessarily expect them. But yeah, I mean, the Astrobot guys, it's like, can you guys get another game out? Like
You
that
want
was
a
a very
VR game?
small game in 2020. Yeah, even another
Yeah.
VR one, if it is that, it's like I would expect you guys to be ready to go soon. Housemark, I'm kind of looking at you. I know they came out in 21, so that's kind of unfair too. But it's like,
They
I
make
mean,
smaller games though.
exactly like how big is their next game? Blue Point. It's like there was concept art in the leaked documents from the Insomniac leak of their game. It's like, okay, so where's that? That's apparently a new IP of some sort. So we'll see what that is. It's just
In over 3
like I
years.
said, we could sit here and name all these studios. And it's just like, where are you guys? Why are you not talking?
You could
It's
say
very odd.
the North Carolina Insomniac team,
Them too, with the Ratchet guys, yeah.
the Ratchet guys.
Well,
Like
apparently,
that's
I mean, we
been
we know Insomniac's whole slate. Apparently, next year is a Venom game, so we'll see if
yeah.
whenever they announce that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm hopefully when they pick a new president and they get him in there to someone to replace Jack Ryan, they get on a track with actually speaking.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm also it's kind of weird because I'm also one that I don't need them to like hint at games, 4 years down the line. But like, are their games all just this far out?
Yeah.
Because like that they should be worried if that's the case.
Well, you would expect something for this year, right? Like, there's
Yeah,
currently nothing for this year. It's just crazy.
yeah. You can't rely on Kojima. Like he works on his own pace.
Well, it's not only that. I mean, you can't rely on that because that's not till 2025, right?
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
yeah.
who knows when in 2025, but I don't know. All right, well, we'll talk about that more as we get into the state of play. Daniel, at the top, first thing they showed in the state of play is Helldivers 2. Get a little launch trailer. Showed off some different mechanics going on there. How you feeling about this? Comes out in, what, 8 days?
Yeah, soon. Yeah. What is it next? Is it next Friday? Is that when it comes out?
It says February 8th, so it's the first right
Okay.
now.
Yeah, I think this game still looks fun. I still not crazy about like the perspective change. I thought the other
You
one just
you
was.
played the first one, right? A
Yeah, I
little
played a
bit?
little bit of the
Yeah.
first when it launched. It was just a fun co-op. Played it like 3 or 4 people. I think we did. I don't remember. Um, it was just a fun, goofy game. I don't know if a game like Helldivers 2 needed a bigger budget and to be like a third-person shooter.
Sure.
Like I think it.
What
I
was the
think it
first one exactly? It was just a
It's a
top-down type thing?
top
Yeah.
down
Okay.
shooter. Like I think they should have just went small, like kept the small nature of the game, kept the
Mhm.
heart of what the first one was. Like I hope this game is good, number one, and then number two, I hope that they didn't spend too much where this game could just fail and this studio could be shut down or have more layoffs.
Sure.
I just hope that that's not the case.
Yeah, I thought the shooting looked fun enough. Not my type of game, really, so I'm not like
Yeah.
particularly interested in it. I thought like the shipbuilding stuff looked interesting to me. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I
when they're
wasn't
like
expecting
putting
that.
guns on the ship
Yeah.
and stuff. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know there was that type of thing to it. I think this should have been the PS Plus game instead of Foam Stars. If you're gonna do
It
that
should have
with
been
one of
maybe
them,
both,
yeah, maybe both. It's like maybe have one of them come out in March or whatever, and then have one after
back to
the other
back, yeah.
back to back months, and that would have been a better idea because then I'd play it, right? If it was on there, I'd at least download it and
So you
check
get
it
more
out
people to
for a
play, yeah.
minute. Yeah, 100%. In this, I'm like, I'm not. I don't know. I don't really want to buy
It's a
this.
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, what is it?
really
50?
is. Yeah, I think it's 50.
Yeah, so I mean, $50 just for that. I understand 50 is the new $40 game, right? So
Yeah.
I get that, but it's just still too big of a barrier entry to me.
I think that's the problem that Prince of Persia is having right now.
Yeah,
As much as I think that game is high quality,
was that
50
game
bucks
also
is a
50?
yeah,
Yeah,
$50 is a lot for
that's a
a
lot too when
Metroidvania.
you look at that game in particular, and like I could see a lot of people scrolling by that in like the PSN store or the Xbox page, and you're looking at like pictures of that, and you're like, I don't know about 50 though.
Yeah, you're expecting maybe like a more traditional like action game, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
a 2D
Good
Metroidvania.
price point for that would have been 30, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, much
probably.
better price point for that.
Maybe for this too. Maybe this could have been like 30.
That too, right? Yeah, 30's a
Maybe it
much
sell better.
30's a much easier sell than 50,
Yeah.
obviously.
So that's where I was saying about the budget. Like maybe the budget's just too much for this game.
Bit too high.
And what
Yeah.
this game could be. Yeah. Like maybe just tone it back a bit. I think we're going to see a lot more toned back. I know we're still going to get really big AAA, but I think in these next few years people are going to learn that there needs to be a scale here. We
Sure.
can't just like have indies be kind of on the cheaper side. Like, I thought that PlayStation was doing that when they did Miles, right? Miles was
Right.
40,
I
wasn't
mean,
it?
that's what they said, right? I
Yeah.
think
Or
Miles
no,
was
Miles
also
was
50.
50,
Yeah.
but they like, we're going to use the scale, and then they
Again,
never
it's
did.
one of those, the 40's the new 50, or 50's the new 40, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they still don't use the scale. It's like
Yeah, not
everything's
really. I mean, I
70,
guess you could count this, right? Helldivers 2 is one of them. I mean, as
but they're
the
not even doing 60 anymore,
sure, yeah, they don't.
you know?
You go buy the PS4 version, then upgrade it for that $10.
Don't tell Jim that.
uh, I forgot to mention this last week when you talk about the developer direct, but I think that's one of the huge advantages that Game Pass can have is making smaller games, because it's not about really the length of content at all. You just need
Yeah.
content. You know, it's like
Every
Xbox
month.
doesn't care. Exactly. They're like, no, we just need a game to highlight this month, a big game coming to the platform this month. It doesn't need to be this long thing. That's why they can get away with Hellblade being a shorter 8-hour experience or whatever it's going to end up being, because
It's
it
their game for May.
doesn't matter. You're paying $15 for it regardless, at least for that month, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
And then
they're going to be much more likely to approve smaller games than I think PlayStation is.
yeah, I mean, well, they're also doing both, because on the other end now, we just talked about last week with the indie selects now. So
Right.
it's like they're also highlighting, actually buying games in a different way, kind of back to what they used to do. So they are like, they have their big, this is what they want people to do, is Game Pass, but they are doing like a nice little thing for indies.
Yeah. Which is why it might be smaller for, or smarter for PlayStation to put games like Helldivers on PS Plus right away.
Yeah. I think they're just worried about the change, maybe losing some money.
Sure. I mean, definitely, right? Like, that's going to be a huge transition. Eventually, one of them's going to win. Eventually. It's either going to go the streaming route, or, the platform route, like Game
Subscription,
Pass
yeah.
subscription route. Thank you. Or it's going to stay the same, right? Like, one of those is going to win at some point. It's just, we're still in that,
It's tough,
that
right?
phase. Yeah.
Because like every other industry has gone to streaming,
Hmm.
but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's always the best way to do it,
Hmm.
right? Or like we see kind of like a lot of these other big, like, at least in terms of TV and movies seem to be different than how music's doing. Music seems to be doing fine. I know
Hmm.
that a lot of these people don't make as much money as they probably wish they did off of Spotify. Spotify still seems to be doing fine. There's a lot of subscribers. They don't really seem to be messing with a lot of that. But when it comes to like the movie and TVs, a lot of them seem to be bleeding money,
Yeah.
right? So I don't know. So it's weird. I don't know. Game
Yeah.
Pass is still not fully proven, but they're making money off of it. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we will. Okay, continuing on then with the state of play. Next game they showed then was Stellar Blade, also giving us a release date, April 26th, 2024.
AKA the big booty Korean girl game.
What are you talking about? She's got a fat ass.
What? No, what do you
I didn't
mean?
notice. I was looking at her personality.
She had a lot of personality.
Hmm. Great personality.
A lot of story to this game.
Yeah, huge amount of story, like double the story, some would say, April 26th, there, are you excited?
Actually, yeah. I think this might have been, at least this is like the game that probably spoke to me the most. There's like two other games though we'll talk about in a bit that I think also were highlights for me, but this might be my number one game here. I just think my only thing was it took them way too long to start showing me combat. They were like breaking it down for a while there. I'm like, I
That was
kind of just want to
exactly
see
my thoughts. Is like, why are you guys showing all of this, especially first?
the front.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Let's do that at the end.
Do like the first half, just all combat, because that's what this game is. That's what people want to see. We want to see
action
crazy
game.
big boss battles, right? It's an action game, so it's like you show the combat first. It's like they're like, oh, let's show you side quests immediately and her cookie, and it's like, okay, no one's here for that, bud. Like,
I
what
want
are
a
you guys
cooking
doing?
simulator.
Yeah, it's like, all right, guys, we don't care. All right, show us the ass and the action. That's it. That's all we're here for.
That's it. The two A's. That's all we need.
Fucking Koreans. All right.
Yeah, I think that this game looked great. I think this game looked great. I don't know like how good it's going to be, but I want to play it.
I think it's gonna be a very fun action game. I
Yeah.
don't think it's gonna like blow us away or anything. I mean, some of the boss battles might, but like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna do anything new or anything we haven't seen before in this game changing type of thing. I think it's just gonna be a good game that comes out. It looks like a good game. It's cool to see a new
Yeah,
studio get highlighted like this, I think.
for sure. And in an area like South Korea, that doesn't really get a ton of highlights that we
Yeah,
know
there's
about.
like a lot of support studios in South Korea, so like we do play games from there occasionally, but like it is very rare that we get a game from South Korea, just its own
Yeah,
straight up AAA game out of South Korea. So it's cool to see games from new areas.
for sure. Yeah, this game looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of Nier a
Yeah,
little bit, like getting some
definitely.
Nier Automata vibes. I don't know if it's gonna be that good,
I don't think
like
story wise, I don't think
yeah, that's gonna be is the
yeah, you're
story.
you're probably not looking at anything that good from the story wise. If I had a guess, I don't know. The characters didn't seem all that interesting. The
Hmm.
world was like kind of cool. You know what the world reminded me of was Stray a little bit. Like that
You're right. That's
that
a big oof.
yeah, a little bit. Well, like the world of Stray was cool. Like that
I know. Yeah.
post-apocalyptic robots talking to you and shit like that. I'm like, I don't know where this genre came from, but I'm into it kind of, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering. So another big like question I have, if you're going to be with Nier, so you need two things. You need a hot main character, and it has it. Number two, you
Check.
need great action, which it seems to have it. I don't know how it feels though. That's going to be key. How does that
Sure,
action feel
definitely.
when you're playing?
Yeah.
The next thing, story. We don't know about that. And then the last thing I would say that Nier has is music. Nier's
Mm.
music is incredible. Like, how good is this music going to be when I'm like playing and all that? That's another like when I'm sitting there fighting this boss. Like if that music is blaring and it's awesome,
It's got to
that's what I'm
slap.
talking
It's
about.
got to
Yeah,
slap.
gotta slap.
Yeah, I agree. I should play Near. I should really get into
You
those at
should
some
really
point.
play it.
Yeah,
You really
I
only need to
really
play
should.
Automata,
Yeah.
but if you play it on Xbox, the original Nier is back compat. I don't know if I went through the back route of getting it on the 360 store page
Yeah.
on the website and did it that way. So you could do it that way. You could just still try to do it back compat that way, or you could just play Replicant.
Yeah, wasn't there I was gonna say that was like the re-release, right? Of
Yeah. See, the
the
weird thing
last one.
is that there was two different releases. One was the Japanese release, and then the American release. The American release you play as like the dad of this girl,
Mm-hmm.
which is the one on back compat, and then the Replicant is the Japanese version where you play as her brother.
Mm, okay.
So they're slightly different. I have not played the original back compat, but I do own it. And I'd say Replicant is great. It's not as good as Automata, but I'd say it's worth playing still.
Okay. Cool.
The action just feels great.
Yeah, I'll check that
It's
out
it's
eventually.
platinum, so it's gonna be great.
So yeah, Stellar Blade, April 26th. Sooner than I thought. I didn't think
My
this
April
would.
game now.
Yeah, I didn't think this would be like that quickly. I think I just said the other day in the chat, no April games, please. But here we are.
Well, I
Here
needed
we
something.
are. Too many games. All right. Next game they showed off then was Sonic Shadow Generations re-release or a remake, remaster type thing
It's
from
the
game
first
that
game.
came out in 2006. Now
Cool.
coming out in autumn 2024, as they said. Then it was supposed to be one of the good 3D Sonic games, from what I've
Yeah,
heard.
the big thing is like, yeah, it's probably like updated and maybe they've done some stuff to it, but like I own Generations 1 and 2 and already
Oh,
on
dude.
Xbox back compat.
Yeah.
Like I can already just play them.
Yeah.
Like I would like to play some more Sonic games at some point, but
I guess I didn't
it's like
even realize this was a 360 game. Yeah, 2006. That lines up. Yeah.
yeah, both of them, both Generations games, and I'd like to play. Those are supposed to be two really good Sonic games, so I'd
Yeah.
like to check them out.
Yeah. As far as
It's
remakes
like
go, I thought it looked pretty beautiful for what it
yeah,
was. You know, I was like, oh, this looks surprisingly well done.
like why is Sonic on a skateboard? He could run faster than the skateboard can go.
Who knows? Because it's cool. You know.
It is cool.
Yeah. When else are you supposed to eat chili dogs? You know.
Yeah.
Can't do that while running. You can on a
Yeah, you can't.
skateboard.
I mean, unless he has two hot dogs, right? Like
Ooh.
he's doing this
Yeah. Yeah. Do that like a little bit higher though.
like this.
Yeah. There you go.
And
Eh,
then Shadow had like skates on. Did you notice that?
I don't know.
Or Heelys?
Does he always have those? I think Shadow
Maybe.
always has those.
So I asked Destiny this.
Yeah.
What is the stupid shoes where you can grind on them? Do you remember those?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are those called? So you got Heelys, the ones
Um,
with you can pop your heel out and then you
I
can
can't remember what the ones that you
skate
could
on it.
grind on
What was the
are.
one with you
Yeah.
can grind
There's
on
like
them? Where
some
you could
little
just
material on the bottom, right?
yeah, yeah,
That
you
would,
could just
let you
like
slip.
jump on a pole and grind on it.
Now, could you combine those with the Heelys? That way
Ooh, put a
you're just
wheel on it
zooming.
and have the grind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that's revolution.
I remember in 6th grade there was this kid that had Heelys, and we had like a ramp that would like go down into like our classroom area, and
Hmm.
he would always go down that, and I just thought he was the coolest fucking kid. I was like, damn.
All my schools banned Heelys.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, there were no Heelys
That
in
was
my school.
necessary. They're like, nah, get the
You
fuck out of here.
cannot be
You
doing
guys are
that.
hurting yourselves.
Yeah, cannot be doing that down the hallway. You are gonna die. Some
Heelys are
kid's gonna
fucking cool.
clothesline you.
Man, I should buy some Heelys now.
Do they
Light up
still
Heelys.
make brand new Heelys, or
I'm
do you
sure
have to
you
get
could
like
find some on like eBay or something at the very least.
cool? You'd be the coolest person around.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it would up my coolness level a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Next game they showed off, Zenless Zone Zero. Free
Say
to
that one
play
more time.
MMO. Zenless Zone Zero.
Y'all don't know what this game is.
I
It's
don't
just
I don't
anime
know.
cutscenes.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know
what is
what's
this
going
video
on
game?
here. I don't know. They're fighting giant robots. Cool art style, I guess.
Is it an action game or is it a
It's an
turn-based game?
MMO of some sort. MMO
Okay.
adventure. Free to play. Zenless Zone Zero. Z for short.
Yeah, this is in the Hoyo verse, isn't it?
Who?
The Hoyo verse,
What is that?
the Genshin Impact and Honkai Star
Oh, is
Rail
that like a universe? They all
Yeah.
come together. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know if they come together, but that's called the Hoyo verse. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Someone's into that.
Freaks.
Freaks, I guess. Speaking of freaks, Foam Stars was the next game they showed off coming to PS Plus
Gross.
on February 6th. Daniel, you hopping into Foam Stars with me?
Absolutely not.
What do you mean?
They
Come
giving it
on.
away. I don't even want
Come
to
on.
play it.
Come on. It'll be my birthday. Can you download it and then play it with me for my birthday?
That's what you want to do on your birthday.
Yeah, I want to play Foam Stars with you.
No, sorry.
What?
No.
Wow. Wow. Not even a birthday
I would
wish.
rather fly
Not
over
even
there
a birthday wish.
and buy you a beer than do that.
How about I fly you over here and I make you play Foam Stars with me?
That's my one wish is to you to
That's
come
it.
here,
That's it.
sit right in your bed right there. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna play foam stars.
Exactly. You sit right next to me. We'll have a grand old time. Just me and you
Mm.
foaming it up all night.
I just want to foam everywhere
It's gonna be lovely.
with anime characters. Foam with anime characters.
All right. Well, I can't wait for that game to come out and no one talk about it after a week. Gonna be great.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Next game we showed off Dave the Diver coming to coming to PlayStation sometime in May of this year. And there's also a Godzilla DLC to go
Yeah.
along with it,
Godzilla.
which is interesting. They've done some interesting DLCs. What was the last one, Dave the Diver? It was
They did one with
Dredge, right?
Dredge. Yeah, which is cool.
That's cool. Indies teaming up
Love
like
seeing
that.
indies team up like that. Yeah,
that's
especially
fun.
when they're similar. Like Dredge is you're like in your little ship and you're fishing and stuff. This
Yeah.
is like you're diving and fishing. So it's cool.
Now they went a little bit higher. Got Godzilla. It's like, all right, yeah. Fuck
Yeah, now they're gonna get that PlayStation money.
for it.
Like, I wonder if this is gonna come to Xbox too. Obviously, they're not gonna say it here, but I would assume so.
at some point. You know, the indies love doing the come out at different times on all three of the consoles, though. Get those three
Get a little
marketing
spike.
beats, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They love doing that. So
It's like I'll play this. at
It'll
some point.
probably be a few months after, and it'll come to Game Pass and Xbox, and they'll get that
Yeah.
bag from that. If I had to guess, but this is actually what I've been waiting for. I bought this game on Switch, and I actually just couldn't play it because of the load times. We've just been
Yeah,
spoiled.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, with Series X and PS5 load times now, I can't go back, and yeah, the Switch load times were just unbearable to me. But I did actually really like the game, so I will probably pick this up at some point. I don't know. It's not really a good time. May, April, there's a lot of games coming
Yeah.
out, so but at some point I'll check this
I
out.
do want to
again.
play this game for sure.
Yeah, it's fun. It was very addictive from what I played. So, next game they showed off then was called V Rising.
Yeah,
Daniel,
it's that PC vampire game, right?
you can rise this V.
Okay.
Something going on there. Yeah, survival RPG from Stunlock Studios. Coming out sometime in 2024. This one could share.
This was very popular. No.
Oh.
I'm not really a nerd, so yeah, no, I don't think this is for me, but I know it was very popular when it came to Steam. People really like the game, so I don't know. Maybe some people would want to play it on console. I don't know how the controls are going to be. So I think it's like a top-down kind of Diablo like. Yeah, I don't know. It's not for me. I have Diablo. I already played that.
Cool. Diablo exists. Next game they showed off, we got into some Silent Hill stuff. First thing they showed off then was Silent Hill: The Short Message, which got shadow dropped yesterday. It's free to play. You can go download it right now. Some first person Silent Hill stuff going on for you.
Yeah, I haven't really looked in because that just shadow dropped kind of last night. Like, what are people playing it yet? And like, are
Yeah, I don't know.
there
I haven't really
reviews
seen
or anything?
opinions
Okay.
either. Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't really seen anything.
Is this only on PlayStation? Is this like, is there a PC release? Is there a Switch release? Is there an Xbox release?
The
Do we know?
GameSpot website does not say. I think it's only on PlayStation right now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder how that's doing. I should look into that and see how that's doing because it didn't look that bad.
No, it
I
actually
don't know
seemed
about
pretty
it being
cool. You know, it's
free to play is weird, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get it. It's like a free to play demo type thing. It's weird that you guys
yeah.
brand it free to play like that. That kind of means something else in the world of video games. You know, when you hear
Unless it's
free
a
to play, you
demo,
think of
you
something
know.
else. That's kind of what it is, or what it seems like it is to me. But it looked cool. I don't know about like the story or anything like that. But I thought that monster design was really cool in the trailer. It was like,
A
oh,
weird
that.
thing is kind of
Yeah, it
following
looked
her.
like a hand drawn monster type thing. I was like, oh, that looks cool. It looks like Chalk Zone or Chalk Zone.
No, what?
You remember Chalk Zone? It was a cartoon on Nickelodeon. He like
No.
he like had a magic piece of chalk, and anytime he wrote on a board, he'd like draw a giant circle, and then he could hop in the Chalk Zone, the world of Chalk Zone. All the characters look like
What?
chalk. Unless I'm having a fever dream and I just made this up. You know, it's Chalk Zone was a weird a weird thing, but it
Drugs are
was real.
bad, kids.
It's a real thing. I swear to God, Chalk Zone, bro.
Drugs are
Put
bad,
Chalk
kids.
Zone in Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl. All right.
Don't let your kids do drugs, you know?
Let them, you know, and they have great memories of fake cartoons. But yeah, I'll probably, I don't know, I might check this out. It's I was wondering if they were gonna do, because there is no release date for the Silent Hill 2 remake, and I was like, oh, are they gonna put that at the end of this, do a little PT thing, you know? But it doesn't seem like they do that, because I think we probably would have heard about that by now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Unless
if you check it out,
no
let me
one's
know.
beat the short message. Maybe it's incredibly long. It's not
Or
short at all.
buggy.
Or buggy, yeah. Speaking of buggy, Silent Hill 2 remake was shown off as well, with just a now in development message at the end of the trailer. Daniel, oof. this game is not looking too good. It is
I don't think it's looking bad. Because like I
sure.
think it could look worse, you know? Like I think it could be worse.
Okay, there's that. What a compliment.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like it's nice to see this game be prettier, you know?
Sure.
It's not the best looking game I've seen, but to have Silent Hill 2 updated a little bit more modernly, like that's nice, and I'm sure the fans of that game like that looks a little more modern. But that being said, the combat didn't look great. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. The combat did not look good. As soon as he picked up the gun and started hitting people with like that bat or whatever the fuck he had, I was like,
the same animation every time.
That looks kind of rough, guys. That looks a little rough. And it's like, yeah, you guys upgraded it from a PS2 game to a 360 game. Congrats.
What I'll say is, I know that people don't really like the combat in 2 anyways.
Sure.
Like that was not a highlight of the original. It was
I
just
could
kind
get
of
if that's not a focus, but it seemed like a pretty big focus on combat in that trailer, if I'm being honest.
In the trailer, it was,
Yeah. It's like, it's one thing if the game doesn't really have too much combat, so you're not really doing that too often, but you guys showed that off a lot in the trailer, if that's the case.
Show more of the puzzle, show more of the exploration, do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, walk around a bit. Don't just fight stuff. Like people don't look at Silent Hill like you're fighting stuff. It's a psychological horror game. Like you're supposed to be messing with the player. Do that. Show that.
Yeah, I just cannot help but think like Looper Team was not the team to pick for this, you know. No disrespect to them, but like their track record is not all that great.
They should have just made their own game.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean,
Just
to be fair, this will still
title.
probably be their highest selling game.
Yeah, I'd be curious with Layers of Fear 1, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Something like that. They're better at that type of stuff though, where it's not focused on combat, you know. It's like
see, that's what they should have done.
This just seems too heavily focused on combat for them, and it's like I don't know how that gunplay is gonna end up feeling. So it's not really surprising, I guess, that it doesn't have a date quite yet. Maybe they are trying to iron out the kinks there and make everything feel a bit better. And
I'm shocked.
Maybe Konami is recognizing that like this isn't turning out super well. So let's try to, I don't know, get some of our own guys on this, make it as good as we can before we gotta put it out.
Yeah, I'm shocked there's not a date or even a window.
Yeah,
like 2025.
Because it was forever ago that we we first heard about this.
Was it in 2022? And then we were thinking it was supposed to be last year, right?
They
Come
did
out
that
last
whole
year.
thing, remember, where they had like a Silent Hill presentation?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
2022, right?
it must have been. I think like
And
end of
then last
2022.
year they
We
were
heard
quiet.
nothing. Yeah,
Weird.
now we're here. Yeah, because I was thinking this could be soon. Like I wouldn't have been
Yeah,
surprised if this was April. But
or even like say October.
yeah, I think that's probably what they're aiming for now. But I don't know. We're gonna have to see.
Hmm. I don't know.
Very
I hope this is good, but
Yeah,
guess
hoping
what?
for the
I
best,
counterpicked
obviously.
this video game.
It was a good
I
counter
knew
pick.
something.
Pretty good one.
I knew something was up.
Pretty good one. Next game they showed off, then we got a new trailer for Judas, Ken Levine's new game, come
Let's
from
go,
Ghost
baby.
Story Studios.
Yeah.
Daniel, again, another now in development here.
Probably 2025.
Yeah, I'm definitely
I'd say
thinking
first half of 2025.
Take as long as you want, Ken. I don't care if
He's
this
been
game don't
cooking
come
though.
out till 2028. Good. Let him. Let him.
Let
Let him. Let him. I'll take trailers for this till the end of time. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fucking awesome.
So we get to see more of the powers, them like very Bioshock, weapon in one hand, powers in another. It seemed like it was more Bioshock 2, right? So you're not like powers and then like take out something, hit somebody or shoot, and then power. Like it looks like you're doing both, right?
Sure.
Like more like 2. So that's good. That's a good update. Or I guess even Infinite was the same way too. But yeah, you're be able to do 2 things at one time. I like that. I got to see some of the powers. One was like a whip or something, or like a grapple.
Yeah,
A
he had
green
something
grapple.
going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. I love the whole vibe of it, the world, the atmosphere, and all that. Seems
It
really
looks very
interesting.
cheery, but it's not.
Yeah, exactly. It's got a little bit of that like We Happy Few vibe to it a little bit. Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
you know,
Maybe like
kinda,
more sci-fi.
definitely more sci-fi, but it's just like it's got its own vibe, its own flavor, and I love that. And it's like, but you can very much tell it's a Ken Levine game still, just with that art style. He must have taken
the character,
the same artists that he had back on the Irrational team. Because they all just look very similar and stuff like that. Like it could very easily be a Bioshock game if you were just looking at a screenshot of this. And
maybe Take Two be like, you can put in the same universe if you want.
yeah, I think he probably did that very much on purpose. Like I think he probably had the choice if he wanted to make it a Bioshock game, but I think he probably he probably just didn't want to be held back by the rules he already established in that world. And
That's
he
a good
wanted to
point.
make a new story and stuff like that. And plus, there is a Bioshock game in development somewhere. I don't know. Maybe someday we'll hear about it.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, when are they gonna talk about that game?
Take Two's probably like, take your time because we got this. It's
True.
like, yeah, take.
This is gonna be better anyway.
Yeah, we got this, so it's fine. Take your time. Yeah, man, I just can't wait for this. Obviously, a long in development game. It's I know Jason Schreier tweeted out yesterday the studio was founded a decade ago and started work on this. So it's like, yeah, they've been cooking for 10 years. I know it's a very small team and it's just people that Ken handpicked to join the team. And he's infamously pretty hard to work with. So it's like, okay, he probably just got people that he vibed with really well and picked them to make this game with him for over a decade. It's just cool, man. Like, I don't... Thank God Take-Two did this and agreed to this, because it's like, this is just a game being made for art's sake, really, at this point. Because you guys aren't going to make that much money on this, especially 10 years worth of development time. Granted, it is a small team, so maybe they will make their money back and stuff like that, but it's like...
Depends on how good they were with the budget.
Yeah, and it's just... So, it's... I really don't expect this game to, like, sell all that much and stuff like that, but I think it's just going to be fantastic when we finally get our hands on it. So, yeah, probably looking like 2025 for this game, so can't wait. Can get this and GTA
March.
next year. Let's go.
March 2025.
March. Yeah, come out before the fiscal year ends.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. Next game they showed off, then Metro Awakening VR. Coming out sometime this year, probably later this year. It's a prequel to Metro 2033, so a prequel to the whole series. Did any of you ever played a Metro game? I don't know if we talked about this.
I love the Metro games.
Do you? Okay, cool. I've only played the first one.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks is that we started the show after that third Metroid, like the year after that third Metroid came out. So
yeah, that was 2019. Huh?
I haven't really talked too much about Metro because it's like, like we haven't really talked. I want a new Metro game. I don't need this.
Well,
you're wasting my time with this.
You're getting one.
Good.
They said 4A Studios or whatever they're called is currently in development on the next AAA Metro game. So you're getting
Good.
one.
I'll say if you've played the first one, did you like the first one?
Yeah, I liked it enough. Not enough to where I
Okay.
was like immediately wanting to jump into the next one or anything. And I own what's the latest one? Exodus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I own that one as well. So maybe someday I'll jump into the second one and play through the third one, make
Yeah,
my way
Last
through
Light's
that.
probably my favorite one.
That's the second one.
Um, mhm.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think 3 is also very good. I think the series like 1 is nice. Like 1 is a nice like it's a good like 8 out of 10 game.
Yeah, it was a
Um,
quick, first person shooter campaign, which we
yeah,
got a ton of back
with some
then, back
survival
when that
stuff.
first came in. Yeah, with some survival stuff, and we got a ton of those back then when it first released. But not something we get a ton of now. So
Yeah, they just have a nice good vibe to them. Like that kind of very like Eastern European vibe, right? Like you got the watch. I love the watch. You got the cracks in the screen. You can wipe it. You have the very like um nuked out, Russia and stuff. It's very, very cool. You're in
yeah,
the metro. You don't really even get to see much of the other stuff because you're in that first game. You don't really go out of the metro. I don't think, right?
yeah. No, you're
Maybe
you're in the
once.
tunnels a whole lot in that game.
Yeah. Once you get to the to 2 and 3, you get more out of metro, especially the third one. The third one, you're not in the metro anymore.
I always like the little hints of like aliens and shit. I'm always like, damn, what's going on there? It's weird.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff. You got to
Yeah.
play more, then you'll
Y-
love it.
Yeah, I should definitely check those out. Yeah, the wiping off the visor stuff was always really cool to me too.
Yeah, when you take damage, it'll crack more and stuff.
Yeah. As far as this game goes, yeah, I don't think either of us will end up playing this. I mean, I don't think either of us own a VR thing, but it
I
is
hope
coming
it's
out.
good just to keep the series going.
Yeah, it is coming out to the other VR headsets as well later this year. So I'm sure a lot of people check this out. Looks pretty quality for a VR game, I will say.
Yeah. I say even though I don't really care about VR, support it just to keep the series flourishing. So
Yeah,
I love Metro as a series.
100%.
Good series.
And it is a game for people that bought the VR too to actually play now. So there you go.
Oh yeah. The VR2 PSVR2 exists.
It exists. Here's another game for PSVR 2 called Legendary Tales, which I thought this was going to be a medieval game when I first saw it. I was like, oh, they're making a medieval game in VR. Wow. What a horrible idea.
I mean, that'd have been cool, but they don't.
I
PlayStation doesn't
played
care about that.
Medieval, the remake they released on
I
PS4.
want to play that.
I thought it was really bad. I
Oh,
was like, I did not like that game one bit.
oof.
I did not like that at all. Yeah. But yeah, coming out sometime this year, I believe. Oh, February 8th, actually. So next week.
Yeah, it's
There you
soon.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, nothing to say on that. Dragon's Dogma 2 then was the next game they showed off. This game obviously launches on March 22nd. Daniel, I thought this was the best trailer we got for this game thus
This was
far.
my this was up there. I
Yeah.
said there's 3 games. This is the second one that I was like, okay, this looks fun.
Mhm.
I don't know a ton about it, but like how they were constantly switching between like the different weapons was really cool. Like they were shooting magic. Like one was they shot magic into like a stairs, ice
Yeah.
stairs, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
jumped and like slammed on it with a big sword on that big
That was
monster.
badass.
Like that is so cool. You
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Big
Like
fan of
I don't know.
talking animals too going on here. So I'm like, all right,
Talking
cool.
animals.
Cool. I'm into that. So yeah, this is definitely the one that the trailer that sold me the most on this game. I've been kind of iffy on it since, but beforehand, but this trailer was definitely one where I was like, oh, okay, this does actually look pretty fun and good and stuff. A lot of rumors
Mhm.
going around that it's going to be in 30 FPS when it launches on consoles. So like that's a little but
Oh, don't say that.
yeah, it
Why?
seems to be the case here. It is a big, beautiful game, so I guess we'll see when it actually launches. But nonetheless, yeah, thought it was good. March 22nd, hell of a day for games.
Is there something else that comes out that day?
There's 2 other things that come out that day,
Uh-oh.
such as our next game that was shown at State of Play, Rise of Ronin. Got a
Ooh.
little bit of a deep dive going on here. Coming out March 22nd as well. Daniel, Rise of Ronin. The Ronins are rising. March 22nd. Here we are. Finally saw a good chunk of gameplay and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How you
Looks
feeling?
fine. I
Yeah.
don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
I
really.
don't. This game was just like screaming at me, like, "Oh, I've played this before." You know, it's like
Yeah.
I've played Ghost of Tsushima, I've played other things like this,
This
and it's
looked
just
like worse Ghost of Tsushima. And
yeah,
but I like Team Ninja though, which kind of sucks. Like I think they're a really good team. They make good games, but like is this gonna be as fun as Ghost of Tsushima? I doubt it.
yeah. The combat just didn't. I don't know. It looked okay, but it didn't look that great. I think the gliding stuff actually looked kind of fun. When I was like, okay,
They
that's
didn't
cool.
show enough of it.
Yeah, but you know, and he like did that, and he landed on his horse. I was like, oh, okay, that's cute.
Yeah.
I can deal with that. I can
So
hang.
this is just an open world game?
I think
They're
so.
still not they're being cagey.
Yeah, they kind of are. It doesn't look like a Souls game at all.
Yeah. It looks more
Like
just
there
of an
was no
action
like
game.
big boss battle type thing going on. You know, yeah, it does definitely just look like more of your typical open world action game going on.
Assassin's Creedy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they're going for that more. I don't know, man. It's just like everything looks very bland about it. You know, it's like when he's walking around the streets and stuff. There's really not like a whole lot of NPCs walking around. It just looks kind of like gray, muddy, and bland when you're walking around. I don't know. I'm just not very high on this game at all. I hope it ends up
Let's
being
wait for
good.
reviews, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I'm thinking like high sevens for this game, something like that. If I
Ooh,
had to guess.
yeah? You think that low?
Yeah, I think right around
Okay.
there. I don't think it'll do too much, but nonetheless, hopefully it's good.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I hope it's good. I like Team Ninja. I like and I like just seeing, the good games spread around, like Koei Tecmo's been around for a long time. I like seeing Koei Tecmo, so like hopefully they keep making good games.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I wish they delved more into like what's the story, like what's going on there in the main campaign. So
From what I can tell, just in my knowledge of like Japan is like this is like the same era as like The Last Samurai, where it's
mhm.
like, you know, gunpowder's getting slowly introduced, So you're starting to get more muskets into Japan and all that kind of stuff. Like the age of samurai is like dying, Like Ghost of Tsushima is kind of about that era as well too. So it's like right at that vibe of Japan.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. March 22nd. Princess Peach also comes out that day. So 3 games that day.
Hmm. I'm definitely gonna play that.
Um. Okay. Next game they showed off then was Until Dawn coming to PS5 and PC later this year. Daniel, this one being made by Ballistic Moon, which this is actually interesting. So this, I don't know if you remember this, but Colin had a big thing about this on Sacred Symbols, where he like
Oh yeah,
pretty much
yeah.
discovered that it seems like PlayStation has acquired this studio already. It's a newly formed studio with like pretty high up veterans, like guys that have worked at the same places you always hear
Call of
about.
Duty,
Yeah,
Halo.
yeah, exactly. It's like literally that. And yeah, so it seems, and they were hiring up for a horror project. So it seems like it was this. What's interesting about this though is that it doesn't seem like they were necessarily gonna always be a studio that just made things like this or a support studio. So maybe PlayStation bought these guys and maybe they'll continue the Until Dawn series. Maybe it's just like, hey, make this, and then we'll move on to an
Trying to
Until
get the
Dawn
vibe of
2.
it.
Yeah, get the
Yeah.
vibe of it, learn how it all works and stuff like that, and then maybe we can move on and make it Until Dawn 2, make something out of that series. I don't know, just throwing that out there, but yeah, that name caught me
Interesting point.
immediately when it popped up, Ballistic Moon. I was like, oh,
I
okay,
thought it
interesting.
sounded familiar, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't too sure who they were.
yeah. That was that whole
But then
thing
you
with
said that
Colin.
about, yeah, you said that. I remember that because he like dove into some website, right?
Hmm.
And then was like,
And
yeah,
it said they had been merged slash acquired or something like next
hmm
to something official by them. So yeah, I don't know, something interesting going on there.
Hmm. Well, I already own the game, so
Yeah, there you go. I mean, coming to PC, they're not even calling it remastered, which is interesting. It's just Until
yeah,
Dawn.
they might. Well, I wonder if they're going to delist the PS4 version.
There was rumors of that last week going around, but apparently that was just a mistake on the PSN front. I don't know. We'll
Oh,
see.
was there already leaks of it?
There was like it was you couldn't buy it on like the Germany PSN page some
Oh,
point last week, but now
weird.
you can. So I don't know. Maybe it was just transitioning into the PS5 version, and maybe you
Yeah,
can
maybe.
pre-order that or something. I don't know. Something probably going on there. All right. Then we got into the Kojima stuff, and first thing we got was a big long trailer of Death Stranding 2, officially titled Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Daniel, I mean, you want to talk about doing drugs? Here you fucking go.
Yeah, let's go, Kojima. Number one, before we get going, I want to say I'm happy that he at least kept the two in the title.
Sure.
I'm fine with it being like Death Stranding 2 on the beach. That's better than if it was just Death Stranding on the beach.
On the beach.
I
Okay.
think having the two in the title, I think, does more for me.
Does it?
I
Okay.
don't know why.
Okay.
I just like the title better with two in it.
I just like it because it makes it sound even wackier. You know, it's like, oh, the two on the beach. Okay, great, great.
What's happening on that beach?
I love the name. I gotta say, like, on the beach. It's just so like, okay, bud, great. All right. So how are we feeling? Big long trailer here. This is typically the thing that we'd see at the Game Awards, but no, we got it here instead now. So yeah, here you
Yeah.
go. Kojima being Kojima.
Kojima, that's pretty much what it was. Yeah, I guess there was just a lot going on. It was a long trailer, so there was a lot happening. We got to see even more of the characters. We got to see some new characters. What George Miller
Yeah,
is
George Miller's
there,
in there.
which is really cool to see. Love George Miller. George Miller had like a little demon. It was like a cat with wings.
Yeah.
It was like a black cat
Oh,
with
was that
wings or
him? I
something.
couldn't tell if that was his or the girl's.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
was him.
Okay, gotcha.
Or at least it was on him. I don't
Okay.
know if it's his.
Yeah.
We got to see this little doll puppet
Yeah,
that was
fucking
like
Alan Wake is now
Alan
attached
Wake.
to Norman Reedus's hip the whole game. Great, great.
They had like a slowed frame rate, so it looked like a little puppet.
They could really
Very
use a character like that, like a Mimir type thing too, because you're walking so long. You know, it's like, all right, great. Someone to talk to me, please. Tell me interesting stories, little Alan Wake puppet.
That sounds cool, but when I saw him do that, and then he put it to the front of him, I was just like, why? Like, why? So this doesn't need to be a thing for every PlayStation game to have a like companion attached to you, talking to you. I don't need that in every game. You know, I
There's only
understand,
one other.
but I feel like that could be a trend, like the sad
Sure.
dad trend. You know what I mean?
My thing with that is like this isn't a PlayStation studio, you know, so it's not
That's
really like a
true.
PlayStation
That's
thing,
true.
you know. It's just like I don't know, maybe he just got inspired from Mimir in
Yeah,
God of
yeah.
War, yeah, and
Take
it's
his
like,
own spin on it.
yeah, put my own. I mean, you don't want a weird Kojima spin on that, you know what I mean? I do agree. I could
Yeah.
see a world where that ends up being you want a zombie head in Last of Us Part 3, you know, that talks or some shit. Joel's head.
That would
Got
just be
smushed.
Lollipop Chainsaw.
It kind of got smushed. There's a zombie
That's because
head in
that's where it all
Lollipop
started.
Chainsaw. Okay,
She
gotcha.
has her boyfriend's head. It's a
Oh,
zombie head
okay.
on her. You ever seen? I think it's on this side. She has his head on there. It's
James
talking
Gunn,
to him.
trendsetter out here. You know?
Trendsetter.
Trendsetter.
James Gunn. Where's that re-release? I want to
Let's
play
go.
that game.
Yeah, that is this year, I think.
Is it cool?
Yeah, something like that. Like I loved the trailer for this. I really did.
Cool, fun trailer.
I think it does kind of confirm that it is the walking again. You know, I think maybe it
More
might
combat.
be more heavily.
But
Yeah,
more shooting.
it
they
definitely is
said.
more shooting, especially when you saw like that gun wall. Right, it was like okay, clearly there's gonna be a bit more combat here, but there was a lot of the walking again, which I'm kind of disappointed by. But like, I don't know, it's just one of those things where like I want to love this. I want to love the
I
first
want to
Death
go back to
Stranding.
the first one.
I want to
Yeah.
be all in on this world and like you know be anticipated and hyped for the second one and stuff like that. So maybe I'll go back and try it again at some point before
I
before
want
the
to do.
second
We should
one.
do that together
Do it together, yeah.
at some point.
Try to
Maybe
go through it, yeah.
beginning next year, end of this year, maybe. We'll
Yeah,
try.
maybe we'll vibe with it much more that time because I really do want to love it. I love everything he's going for here and all the cutscenes and stuff like that. And
It's got a good vibe.
just the
for that first
wackiness of it is just so fucking cool. But yeah, I just did not vibe with the gameplay in the last one. So I don't know. We'll try it again here. Hopefully we enjoy it. Man, that guitar fight though with Troy Baker's character.
Oh my god,
Dude, when he did the guitar flip and then blocked the fucking sword, I
Yeah.
was like, let's go. That is so badass.
Troy
fucking loved
looked
it.
like the Joker meets a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure character.
Yeah, 100%. His character, I don't know how much you played of the first one. I actually played a good amount of the first one. I got over
I played
halfway.
much more. I played like 10 hours.
Yeah, I got way over halfway with that game. I got like, I know I have like 43% of the trophies, and I looked at people that beat it have like 60 something. So I wasn't far off from actually completing the game. But Troy Baker's character was definitely the standout to me while I was playing that game. He was great.
I did that boss fight with him.
Yeah.
That first boss fight.
Yeah,
with him.
yeah. He's awesome in that game. So it's cool to see his character back. I didn't know if he like died or something at the end, but
They insinuate that he did.
oh yeah, they kind of did, didn't they?
Yeah, they're
So
like,
maybe
oh,
he
we
did
thought
kill
you
him in the
dead. We
first
thought
one.
you died, or whatever, or like
Mhm.
they leave him to die or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very curious. I mean, Kojima's clearly got a lot going on here. He's got OD. He's got the Death Stranding movie that he's making. He's got Death Stranding 2. And then at the end of this, they announced that PlayStation and Kojima will be teaming up for an espionage action game of some sort. to come out,
Yeah.
probably on PS6, for being honest. And so yeah, new IP announced from Kojima at the end of this. Thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they hint at it at the end with like that pan out shot. Like there's a code, the code name for the game is there. Don't know what that code name means. We'll probably see it maybe more as the weeks go on.
Yeah, what was the code name? Like Fizit or something? I can't remember.
I don't remember what it's spelled out. But the weird thing is why did it have Columbia Pictures on it?
Yeah, so he did also say then at the end that this would be some merge of movies and video games of some
But
sort.
Sony Pictures is a thing.
Yeah, yeah. And they're teaming up with Columbia Pictures for this. I don't know.
Yeah.
That is weird. Who knows?
That's what threw me because why wouldn't it just be Sony Pictures?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the whole movie side works. Who knows what's going on there. Nonetheless, I mean, they're making something over there, making something weird, obviously. So, I don't know. I couldn't even begin to speculate what this is going to actually end up looking like. But cool to see him back in that genre, right? It's
For sure. I'm
okay,
excited.
he's coming back to
Do we
Metal Gear
know?
like you would think.
You could probably clarify, and I think I already know the answer to this. Is this going to be a PlayStation exclusive? Because they didn't say exclusive. He just said a game for PlayStation.
He didn't say, but I would assume if PlayStation's publishing it, you're not getting it on anything else.
I don't even know if I got the vibe that it was even being published, but I guess it'll be seen.
Teaming up with PlayStation, that
yeah, I don't know.
That pretty much means,
like
they're publishing.
Is it going to come to PC? Yeah, like
yeah, I don't. I mean, probably. Questions. Who knows? Honestly, because like also this is not going to come out for at least another 5 years, so who knows what this all looks like by then? It's
2030 probably.
Like this probably isn't even a PS5 game.
Yeah.
Is the thing. So yeah, I would. Who knows what the whole gaming landscape's even gonna look like by that time? Could all be dead. So,
hopefully,
God, please. But yeah, very cool stuff. Got a lot of Kojima in this, and Death Stranding 2 does look awesome. So
gotta love some Kojima.
I think a little bit disappointing that it's 2025. I think that's a bit of a blow.
Are you expecting this year?
Not expecting, but like holding out hope, right? I think PlayStation certainly could use it, right? Like they could have used something big at the end of this year.
Their fall game.
Maybe they're banking on that, but I don't know. At the very least, I'm hoping this is a spring 2025 game, and we don't gotta wait another 18-ish months for this.
They probably want that because nothing should come out in the fall of 2025. No game needs to release in the fall of 2025.
No, you do not. Yeah.
Unless you're Call of Duty. Maybe Call of Duty in the sports games. Other than that, you do not come out in the fall.
No, don't fuck around because GTA 5 or 6 is September 2025. Yeah, don't
it's over.
Yeah, it's over. It's done.
Yeah, there's literally no reason to come out.
Probably gonna be a very good year too if we get Judas, Death Stranding 2. Nintendo will probably have something big. You gotta imagine either that 3D Mario or Metroid Prime 4 will be in 2025.
Hopefully,
right?
New Switch by that point, right? And then
if that's this fall, I'd imagine they'll have either the 3D
or the
Mario
beginning of 2025,
Metroid Prime 4 in this, or that. Oh, my mic. Or that if the Switch 2 is the beginning of 2025, then it's gonna be hell of a fucking year.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel. That was the state of play. Direct next week? It's rumors.
I don't know.
There's rumors. Cool. Rumor is February 7th, what I'm seeing. So we'll see. That's next week, Wednesday. So they do typically do one right in the beginning of February. So
is that what the people are saying?
That's what the streets are saying there, Daniel.
Got your ear to the streets. I know you do.
I'm down there. I'm in there listening. Going around, hopping around, just walking around the Milwaukee hood. Like, hey, man, you heard anything about a Nintendo Direct?
When's that Direct happen?
Where's that Direct? Then I get my ass fucking kicked.
Just get beat. Like, bite the curb.
What the fuck is this guy talking about?
This weirdo with this. Who is Patty the Batty?
Yeah, Patty. He wears this Patty the Batty sweatshirt every fucking week. I'm actually. I lost a bet and I have to wear this until he becomes a champion. So. Rough.
So for the rest of your life.
Damn, bro, you didn't need to fucking just shit on Patty the Batty like that, man. Come on, he's a decent fighter. Leave him alone.
Oof.
Leave Brittany alone.
They're gonna cremate you with that on.
Leave him alone. He's got cool hair and a cool accent.
Yeah, he does.
Our next news story: veterans of the recently shut down studio Volition Games have formed a new Volition. Excuse me. Volition. I feel like I've done that multiple times.
Yeah, it's Volition. Yeah.
Okay. Volition Games have formed a new studio called Shapeshifter Games. Their first project will be doing support work for the upcoming In Exile games RPG Clockwork Revolution. Daniel, this is cool.
I thought this was a nice story, right?
Right.
It sucked. We talked about this last year, like as a long time studio that they were around for so long, just to be shut down like that from Embracer.
Yeah.
It sucked. Even if they didn't make like a super great game with the new Saints Row, I didn't hate it nearly as much as other people did. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I think I gave it like a 6.5. You know, um, so to see them still around, that's great because I forget exactly where they are, but they're not in a like big area with a lot of other developers.
It's Champaign, Illinois.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
go. And yeah, so like there's not a lot there, right?
Yeah.
So um it's nice to see maybe they were able to get everyone. If they were, that's great. Love to hear that. Working on Clockwork Revolution makes sense because In Exile is supposed to not be a very big studio.
Mm.
And this is Clockwork Revolution is a really big budget game, it looks like. So they're going to need some help.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I'm just going to spice it in there because you might as well keep talking about it. Acquisition season is always happening. Is this like maybe a target for them?
Mm.
Because Volition always kind of seemed to have like an Xbox kind of lean to them for a long time at least.
Maybe a
With
nice
Saints
like
Row
tryout here too. Like, hey, help us.
yeah,
Let's see what you guys are made of. Let's see how you work and stuff like that. Help us on
yeah,
support
exactly.
in a bigger game coming out. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. Try to build it up like that, build a relationship and stuff. Yeah, this is cool, man. It's I think this is their first. Let's just get some money in, get some money flowing
Yeah,
throughout the company and stuff like that. Help work on a bigger game that's coming out, support it and stuff. And you see support studios all the time on bigger games. It's like roll through the credits on any big AAA game, you will see another studio that has had their hands on it.
multiple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
multiple other studios. There's so
that's
many
something
different.
Ubisoft's very good at.
Yeah,
They have
it's
every studio working everywhere all the
yeah,
time.
it's like you roll through that. Even like you see bigger companies do that. Roll through the credits of Callisto Protocol. You know how many
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
PlayStation studios were working on that? There's a
They were like
ton.
using their like mocap
Yeah, yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like you see this kind of stuff all the time. It's a good way to get money going for a new studio. And yeah, cool. Hopefully we see an actual game from them at some point, like their own game, whatever that is. Spiritual successor to Saints
Yeah, they
Row.
didn't
Be a
retain their
good
IPs,
idea.
right?
No, I doubt it. I'm sure Embracer probably
Because
owns those
that's
now. So yeah.
yeah, Red
That's it's
Faction.
always that was Embracer's whole thing anyways. It's such a shame
Yeah,
they shut this studio down of all of them because it is
I
one of their
know.
better, bigger studios, right? Or it
I know.
was at the time. And it's just like,
I mean, they own Saints Row
man,
and they're Saints Row and Red Faction. Come, are you kidding me?
yeah. And it's funny because it's like Embracer obviously was depending on that Saudi Arabia money coming in. They were supposed to get $2 billion from them, and that was obviously their big thing. It was they were gonna get money flowing that way, and then hopefully make all the games, make all the money back, and then just have that sustainable income from Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia. And you can see why Saudi Arabia pulled out of that, right? If they were really looking at like what these games are and how the quality of these studios, they're probably just like,
How much money they're gonna
want to
make,
get
and
out
yeah,
there. Yeah, and I know Saudi Arabia. I mean, dude, they just want the best of everything. It's like they are taking. I mean, it's a completely different thing, but they are like completely taking over in boxing and MMA right now. They're getting so much of that stuff, and they only want the best of that. And I imagine it's got to be the same on the video game side,
isn't
or
that also with golf?
and
Isn't
golf.
Live?
Yeah,
Isn't that?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. The whole I know they bought that whole company or
yeah,
whatever.
Live.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's what it is.
whatever with all the top golfers and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It's
they
like
were stealing PGA
yeah, it
golfers.
seems like
Yeah,
Saudi Arabia. So I know their big thing is they're running out of oil, so they want to go into entertainment big. Not like running out soon, but like they're gonna run out of oil within the next like 50 years or some shit like that. So they want to pivot for
they're
their
thinking ahead
future
of time.
generations. Yeah, exactly. They want to pivot into the entertainment industry. That's why they own a percentage of Nintendo now and stuff like that. And
A big percent. It's like 8% or something
yes,
crazy.
exactly. So it's like they only clearly want the best of the best. So you can understand why they pulled out of the Embracer deal.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with what's the name of the studio again?
Shapeshifter Games.
Shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Not as good as Volition. Volition's a great name.
Yeah,
But
Shapeshifter's cool.
Shapeshifter,
I get it.
Shapeshifter's yeah,
Shift in the shape
hmm
of their studio. Yeah,
yeah. Try to
makes
get a new
sense.
image, right? Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if this pans out for them, and yeah, I hope for them the best because I like Volition a lot.
Hopefully,
I love
this
Saints
gives
Row.
them enough money to start making their own game, right? And then maybe they can get
At least have
acquired
it
or whatever
published
from there.
by
Yeah, at least
Xbox
have
or something.
something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, make a good relationship with Xbox. Get your own game going, show off proof of concept of that, then maybe they get acquired, or maybe that game comes out first and then they look to get acquired, or maybe they don't want to be acquired. I don't know. Next up, then, our last news story. Insider Gaming has learned what Ubisoft's upcoming schedule might look like. We will go over this. Okay, so first thing they got written here then. X Defiant has been delayed because of some last minute features that were broke. Okay. That's why X Defiant was delayed.
Yeah, because I know that when people were playing that beta, people were actually surprised that it played very well. It
Yeah.
played like very much like Call of Duty.
Yeah,
So
people seem pretty into it when it first came
yeah,
out, so
I mean the initial teaser was not positive,
yeah.
and then when
The
people
name's horrible.
finally, the name is awful. It's god awful.
It's
Change the name.
terrible. Yeah. Change that
Change
fucking
the
name
name.
for sure.
And then it's supposed to play very well, which makes sense. Ubisoft is good at shooters,
Yeah.
so like it
I
makes
thought
sense.
it looked fun, like from that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these look fun, like a lot of the first person, like the finals game. That looks pretty fun to me too.
Yeah, that I've wanted to play it. It's just
Yeah, I've
no
been meaning to
time.
download that too. Yeah. Okay, then continuing on, there'll be a company-wide back to office 2 days a week rule at Ubisoft. So kind of shifting things around there, get people
Good
back in
luck.
offices there. Yeah, right. I can't imagine working from home for years and then being like, yeah, you gotta come into the office now. Like, no, thank you. Okay, and this is where the Prince of Persia news, I guess, came from. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown has 300,000 players at launch. When this game come out, 2 weeks ago now.
I think it'll be 2 weeks tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, so within the last 2 weeks, 300 players, 300,000, excuse me.
Yeah, probably not as much as they probably wish. Like,
Yeah.
this is a very good quality team. We've talked it like this is the Rayman Legends and Origins team. Like,
Yeah.
it was a Montpellier, I think is their name. They're awesome. Like, they've not missed 3 games back to back to back, right? But I think this being a $50 game and a $50 Metroidvania, that's a lot. You're asking a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how much they spent on this game too, though. This game does have a pretty good budget from what I could tell by playing it, especially for the genre. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I think Nintendo
bit of a shame because this is Ubisoft going out there and trying something a little bit different, right, from their traditional slate.
Yeah.
So it's something other
bring
than
an IP
fucking
back.
Assassin's Creed, right? So it's always cool to see that, and yeah, just not enough people buying it, I guess. But at least it got made,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, at least it got made. Hopefully it's enough to make its money back at least.
Yeah. Maybe they could throw it on Game Pass or PS Plus at some point, get a bit of a bag from Sony and Xbox, try to make up some income that way.
Make some, yeah. See, like I'm trying to think of like other big budget Metroidvanias. The only other one was Dread. That was 60. And Dread I think sold like 3 million or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good for like a big budget game. I guess that's more the power of the Switch than anything, but like $60 for a Metroid game's a lot.
Yeah. Okay then. Now I think they get into their actual upcoming slate. Well, first thing they had here was Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora accumulated 1.9 million players. A bit low for that game, honestly.
Yeah, I think it was just bad timing for that game.
Yeah, there was no hype around it either when it came out.
Yeah,
no one was talking about it.
It looks great.
Yeah,
in terms of visuals.
Beautiful. I mean, for the 15 minutes I played it, I was like, "Wow, this is a beautiful game."
Yeah,
and I turned it off.
Maybe at some point I'll come back to that game. If I see it on a sale, I'll pick it up.
Yeah, when we're in like a down period, maybe I'll go in there, play it with like all the DLC and all the updates and stuff. Probably be a bit better. So,
because we both like Far Cry a lot, and this just seems like a Far Cry game.
Yeah, it is just Avatar Far Cry. Assassin's Creed Mirage, 5 million players.
They probably wish it was more, but like that's pretty good for like a smaller budget Assassin's Creed game. A smaller scoped Assassin's
Yeah, I
Creed
think
game.
if the budget was managed properly, they're probably pretty happy with that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, exactly.
It did sell less than your typical big Assassin's Creed game, right?
And I wonder if they were expecting that because it's a smaller game.
Yeah.
Or were they expecting this to explode?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Does the casual audience that doesn't really pay attention to these things but buys Assassin's Creed games, did they know that it was a smaller game even, that'd be
That's a
my
good point.
question. Was this marketed heavily towards them? I don't know. I'll be more curious to see how Assassin's Creed Red does, because that should be their next big one, you'd imagine.
Hmm. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of that, well, the first half of the year is supposed to be Star Wars Outlaws, so this is the good stuff now. First half of the year, Star Wars Outlaws,
May.
sometime before the end of June, May, June, yeah, right around there. And I think that's what me and you have been saying that this game was.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been throwing out that like they don't even know if this game is this year. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are talking
They
about.
said it was.
Yeah, I know. It's like I don't like people think this game's like way far out. I'm like, no, this looked pretty far along last time we saw it at the Ubisoft E3 thing. So it's like,
I don't listen to some people sometimes.
Yeah, I kind of expected this to be April-ish, so it's kind of probably looking like May, June. Yeah.
I think May's a good Star Wars month, right?
Yeah. Oh, dude, if you can get it out right on that May the 4th.
Yeah,
Go
right
for
around
it.
there. Perfect, dude.
Yeah.
That at least that week.
Yeah,
right?
they always love the end of April too, because they did that with Lego Star Wars and Jedi Survivor last year. So yeah, maybe.
Well, you can lean into the week of May the 4th, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's what they like to do there. Yeah. And then second half of the year is supposed to be Assassin's Creed Red, coming out this year. There we go.
So probably like November.
Yeah, I'd imagine your typical October, November, your typical Assassin's Creed time. Assassin's Creed Red. I'm still so curious if they're committing to that the live service thing. You remember this? It's with the Assassin's Creed thing. Yeah, with the Infinite thing, where this is all every Assassin's Creed game is supposed to now run into this. It's like, are they committing to that? Because we haven't heard about that in many years now.
Call me Ubisoft. I'll tell you what to do.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. That's number one.
Don't do just hang up the phone there.
Hire me and then I'll tell you more. How about that?
Yeah. So I'm expecting this to be your. Do we think this is a giant RPG Assassin's Creed again?
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably is. So
it might be a little different, but it's going to be.
I hope they shake that up somehow. Like do something a little bit different.
Don't make it bloated.
Don't do that, and like I don't know. I need something new, something to catch my eye with Assassin's Creed. It's like
open worlds are just in a bland way.
Yeah. Just so many.
I don't want to just blame Ubisoft because it's not just them, right? Like to be fair, like I don't want to just keep taking shots at anyone like Ubisoft, but like I think also PlayStation kind of gets stuck in this with like Horizon. Like as much as I like Horizon, like it's still a Ubisoft type open world.
Well, they did start that formula, right? Like Assassin's Creed 1 is the start of that formula that we've seen over and over again. And why I do love that formula, it has there's just so many.
We already had the perfection of that. And which is Witcher 3. Probably.
Witcher 3 a bit different from that. That's a bit more deep dive RPG mechanics and stuff like that.
It is like
I get
an
what you're
open world
saying.
with icons.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Like because there are so many different variations of just that. So, but yeah, I don't know. I just want something a little bit different for Assassin's Creed. I think just the Japanese aspect, samurais and stuff like that. While that is very cool, that's not necessarily gonna pull me in immediately. I do need just something. I don't know. I've always had a problem with the combat too of the later RPG ones. It's never felt that great. I remember Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood and all those on the 360 having great combat. Like I really love that game's combat, and I don't know. Whenever I boot it up, Origins or Valhalla, it just doesn't feel the same. I don't know exactly what's wrong there, but I need great combat in these.
Yeah. I think they need to lean more into the exploration. Like take notice of Elden Ring.
Sure.
And maybe Breath of the Wild and stuff. Where like it's not about the map. The map can help you, but like let me explore at my own pace, right? And look at like let me see something in the distance and want to go there.
Yeah.
And
they do have that mode in these Assassin's Creed games, which I've always appreciated.
Yeah,
the off everything. They call it like
guided and then
more.
exploration.
Yeah, and they do that. Maybe lean into that a bit more, but like flesh that out a bit more than just like a separate mode. I don't know. I don't know. Show me something here, Ubisoft. Like impress me. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
And then last thing they have here is Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake is multiple years away, but has begun development. There you go. I've actually never played this. I've like played bits and pieces, but this is I dropped off after 3 for Assassin's Creed. So
yeah, I did not beat 4. I'd like to go and play 4.
Yeah, I really like the ship combat in 3. So I was always interested in 4, but I don't know for whatever reason. 3 just kind of soured me on all of Assassin's Creed. Honestly, well, I don't hate that.
You didn't play Syndicate.
No, I didn't play Syndicate. I didn't
Syndicate's
play
awesome,
any of
dude.
those. Yeah, man. As soon as
Syndicate's got a Batman-like grappling hook. You can grapple up buildings.
yeah, that is fucking cool.
Dude, it's
That is
awesome.
fucking cool. Yeah, once PS4, Xbox One gen started, I was just like, I'm done with Assassin's Creed, and I don't
Yeah.
know, tried again with Origins, but like I said, never caught my
Stop remaking games.
eye. Black
Just
Flag
stop.
remake, you need it. You need Daniel. They got to do something with the Skull and Bones assets, okay? They're never gonna make their money back if they don't. Leave them alone.
Oh boy. Might as well just remake last year's games.
Might as
We
well
don't
at this
need new
point.
games. Just keep remaking them.
What do we need new games for, Daniel? You got enough games.
Yeah, just remake the games and then remake that remake.
Speaking of games,
We need Last of Us Part 2 remake.
I mean, we do need that at some point in the next year or two, I would say, at the very least. Speaking of games, Daniel, we will now get into what we've been playing. Who wants to go first here? I know you've been playing a lot, so go with you.
Playing a decent amount, maybe in terms of amount of time playing.
You beat a
might
couple
have-
games, I noticed.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. You might have played more maybe, but so I did beat Prince of Persia. I think I was pretty far into it by
Yeah,
last
you said
week.
you were like second to last boss or something like that.
There was much more than I thought there was from where I was at last
Excuse
week. I was like 2/3 of the way through. There's like another third left of the game.
Oh, was it?
Surprisingly, yeah.
Cool.
This game I think is a little too long for what it is.
Yeah. What are your hour count if you had to guess?
I didn't look. Probably 12. But I don't think that not that that's like a long game, but like for a Metroidvania, it's pretty long.
Yeah.
I think just a little long.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like Shadow Complex was like 8-ish, I want to say. That's the
Yeah,
only one
maybe
I played and, like,
maybe
compared it
6
to.
to 8. Yeah, for that
around
game.
there, yeah.
And I think that's a pretty good length right there. I think it's just a little too long.
What was Dread?
But Dread, like I think I beat Dread in like 6.5.
Oh, okay. That's not bad then.
But like, there's always more you could do. There's more
Sure.
exploring, leveling your up and stuff. you can always
These
do.
games are always typically highly replayable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explore the map, get 100% in the different areas and stuff if you want. I really like this game. This is a very top tier, high quality Metroidvania. I have problems with it. Like I think sometimes the combat isn't always too great. Like I think some enemies feel like it takes way too much to kill someone. It feels like I'm kind of like, all right, I'm just kind of hitting you a lot. Like this just especially when these are like not boss enemies. They're just kind of normal looking dudes. Like why are you taking this much? I don't know. Like I just feel like they needed to mess with the boss or not boss, the enemy health a little bit more. The game relies a lot on its platforming. So if you like 2D platforming, it's really fun, really dynamic. They use the powers pretty well. So like you have the typical things like a double jump and a dash. But you also have like this like wherever you are, you can place a like echo of you, and then you can like go somewhere, and then you hit the same button again, and it will go back to time, and you'll pop back to where you are.
It's kind of like a redo type thing.
Kinda. It doesn't like completely turn back time for everything, but like it puts you back in that spot.
Do you have to go back in that spot like every
do.
time? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't. You couldn't like stop it before.
You can't just like try like, hey, I want to try this real quick. Place a guy here in case it doesn't work out, and then go up there.
You can like place it here. Yes, you can do that. You can place it here and then like, oh, I don't want to be up there, and then hit the button
And then go back. Okay.
But I don't think you can like stop it halfway.
Gotcha.
Like you have to go back to where you were.
Okay.
So how they do it with puzzles is like there's like a big thing here, and you can't really like get all the way past it, but you can like follow it, put a guy like as far as you can, and then let it go past you, and then teleport behind it. So you can do stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, or like sometimes you'll be platforming, and then they'll want you to like you hit a wall, you put it on the wall, and then something happens, and then they want you to like hop over and then teleport back to it. Stuff like that. Like
okay.
they kind of play with like that like duplicate a lot.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, the platforming's pretty challenging. I think the platforming might be a little more challenging than the combat. The combat, I just think enemies just have too much health. That's really where the difficulty I think comes from. And they rely a lot on the parrying. So if you don't like parrying, You might not like the combat. You can get away with not parrying a ton, but they do rely a lot on parrying. You can like stun enemies and stuff like that. But there is like a dodge button, you know. Um, so if you are looking for like a 2D Metroid with more combat focused stuff, like uh, Guacamelee. I don't know if you've played Guacamelee or like Guacamelee. Those are like brawlers.
Yeah.
This is kind of in that vein of like it kind of has pretty good combat for a Metroidvania. So maybe check it out if you're looking for that. It's maybe a little too pricey. Maybe look for it on a deal.
Yeah, I'd like to check it out at some point. I don't know when. I don't know. I'm sure it's gonna pop up on PlayStation Plus or Game Pass at some point. So
Yeah,
I'll probably wait for that.
I'd say the story's surprisingly pretty good.
Yeah, is there a lot of story?
Yeah, yeah. For it being long, there's a good amount of story. I like kind of where it goes in the ending. Like,
The hint at a
the
sequel at all?
it's open for a sequel.
Open to it?
There's
Okay.
not like Sargon is like going here to do this thing. They don't really do that.
Sargon,
He
what are you doing? Finishing this fight.
finishing the fight. But yeah, they set up like the villain that they set up in this game and all that. His name's I don't even want to spoil it because that's kind of a spoiler. But the villain in the game, I think, is very good. They really show you his motivations and why he's doing this, and they make sense. And you kind of feel for him, even though he's kind of like maybe kind of gone too far, right? But yeah, I really like this game. I don't know if it's going to be in our top 10 this year, but we'll see. We'll see how many great games come out this year.
Yeah, it's
But
early for that.
for like Metroidvanias, like if you like the genre, you should check this game out.
Cool.
And then I beat the Tekken 8 story.
Hell yeah, let's go.
And then played some like regular like versus matches of Tekken 8 as well. Not a super long story mode. It's definitely shorter than like the NetherRealm story modes. I couldn't say exactly how long, maybe a couple hours, 3 hours maybe.
Okay.
It has I think there's like 15 chapters, if that kind of tells you, 15 or 16 chapters. But some of the chapters can go by quick. A few of them are a little longer, but like I'd say most of the time you're kind of flying through some chapters. Yeah, this game is just it's anime. It's so anime. In like the
I've seen
best
some
way.
of the cutscenes. I'm like, oh, it's just like Dragon Ball Z type shit.
Oh, but you don't even know.
Don't
The
even know.
final fight with Jin and Kazuya
Is it just epic?
is insane.
That's
It's
fucking cool.
nuts, dude. I would say look it up and just watch the ending. It's
I can do
awesome,
that.
dude. It is so cool. I don't even want to spoil it. Like that's how cool it is. Like it's just two ultra powerful beings destroying each other. It's very cool. Um yeah, it's just a very fun campaign with some goofy characters and stuff. Like if you like fighting games, like this is definitely more on the good side of like fighting game stories. Like
Gotcha.
NetherRealm is just quality no matter what.
Yeah,
All their stories are. This is might be one of the better ones that's not like NetherRealm, I'd say.
that's dope.
Which is good. I like to see that more are trying. Like a lot of the Japanese fighting games haven't really like hit with story modes, you know? They're just good everywhere else. Like even Street Fighter 6 last year didn't really hit with a story mode, even though it's a high quality fighting game. But yeah, Tekken 8's really, really great. My
So,
only
how would you kind of compare this to? Obviously, we're in a big fighting game era right now.
yeah.
And you played a good amount of Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat 1. How are you kind of comparing this to those two?
As like a complete package, I think it's really high up there because
Okay.
like I do like the story mode. I think it's like Mortal Kombat 1 just better just because I think it has the best story mode out of them. But Tekken 8 is just a really solid package. Like if you like Tekken's fighting style, the kind of like 2.5 kind of plane, you know, like you kind of go back and forth this way, but it's still kind of a 2D fighter.
Yeah.
If you like that and you like Tekken, you know, this is just very high quality Tekken, just extremely high quality Tekken. It feels very good. It looks great. The cutscenes are insane. I think this is using Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
Insane. When you can tell when it switches to gameplay and like kind of how Mortal Kombat does. And when you get to like the cutscenes, I'm like, dude, this is incredible. Because they basically just make a movie and that's kind of the game. It's just kind of a
CGI
movie.
cutscenes just look
CGI
unbelievable.
cutscene.
Yeah,
Yeah, so good. Like my only two complaints is number one, Heihachi's not in the game playable. He's not in the story mode because
that's weird.
he's like supposedly dead at the end of 7.
Okay.
So he's just not like playable or anything. Kind of sucks. And then number two, my boy Eddie Gordo, not in the game. He's the first DLC character they're gonna do. So I still have yet to play Eddie Gordo.
It's
Like,
interesting they block off two of their main characters type thing.
Yeah, disappoints me. But I played some good Nina, dude. Nina's hot in this game. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You could choke me out. You know,
Choke you out with those thighs.
Yeah. You know.
A lot of horniness going on today.
Oh boy, we need to end the show. Yeah, so yeah, Tekken 8, great, high quality. If you're looking for a good fighting game, it is $70 too. I'll say that. Like it is a full priced game. But yeah, Tekken 8's great. Love the game. This is a game I'm gonna keep downloaded and just kind of pop in, do some matches probably.
Yeah.
I kind of did that a
You
little bit.
jumping in the online at all?
Probably not. I'm just not. I'm not gonna be able to compete with these people that play Tekken all the time. You know, like there's just no way.
Okay.
And then the last thing I played, and probably the only thing you've played, I assume, is Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth.
Like a Dargan.
I've only played like 2 hours or so. I can kind of tell you where I am when we get to it if you want. But yeah, I've only played like 2 hours, still in chapter 1, so haven't not gotten to touch it that much. But I'm definitely gonna play some more today.
Cool. Yeah, that is exactly what I've been playing. The game keeps a good in-game clock because it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't count when you're in the pause menu. Every game should do. Please, every game. Just do that. Just do that for
I'm not
me.
playing.
Yeah, I'm paused. Please, for the love of God. And PlayStation, fix your fucking in-game
Everything.
clock.
Oh.
Yeah, that too. But like, fix your in-game clock because like that thing just says I played like 26 hours. I have not played 26
You've played 1,000 hours.
That's what I was like. Remember when it told me I played like 56 hours at Alan Wake 1 remastered? I'm like, okay, I did not play 56
Did you beat that game 4 times?
Right, exactly. That was like all I played that year apparently. So yeah, no, I am like 14 hours into Yakuza or Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I'm not dropping the Yakuza thing. I'm on chapter 4. In the middle of chapter 4. Yeah.
Yeah. I understand you can keep calling it, Yakuza. That's fine. I think they're both cool names, so call it whatever.
Calling it Yakuza. Okay. It's you guys started with Yakuza. We're calling you Yakuza.
Not in Japan.
All right. Yeah. Was it always Like a Dragon in Japan? Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. You shouldn't have started it then.
You shouldn't have brought it.
Yeah, man, this game's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah,
man, dude, did you see like the opening music video thing with Ichiban just walking around the town in the beginning?
Yeah.
That was so fucking cool. Like, what a vibe that thing
What a
had.
cheery song.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Like, cool little like jazz music going down. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm fucking into this.
It's very jazzy.
Yeah. The opening is just so like lighthearted. It starts off like a comedy movie almost. Like him just working at Hello Work again, and you're just walking around the old town and stuff. You got Namba and Adadachi-san with you. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm super into this. And yeah, so it starts off like super lighthearted and fun, and then when you finally do get to Hawaii, it gets a little bit more dramatic and stuff, and gets into the overall story and stuff like that.
When do you go to Hawaii? What chapter?
Hey, dude, you're actually in what's the town called? Is it
Ijincho?
Ijincho? That's the first town. Yeah. So
or Yokohama.
Yokohama. Yeah, there you go. That's you're actually there for quite a while. I would say you're there for like 3-4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, until you actually go to Honolulu. And so yeah, the game kind of opens up like that, and you're there for a while, re-exploring the last town, the town from the last game and stuff. And yeah, it's I don't really know what else I want to say about it. I mean, the combat improvements are awesome. I think you're no longer
I like having the circle.
Yeah, exactly. You're no longer just stationary and have to stand in that one spot. You're in the circle, so now you can kind of line up different attacks and stuff. Like if you want to get behind someone, you'll do more powerful attacks on them when you're on their back and stuff, and then you can kind of exactly you can kind of line up people and then knock them into another person, and then get the person that they got knocked into health down a little bit. And I think that's a really fun, cool aspect. Kiryu's combat, slight spoiler for you, I guess.
It's
Kiryu's in
okay.
it, you know.
Oh, no way.
He's on the cover. I didn't know. Yeah, his combat's actually very interesting because I know he has different stances when you're playing the beat 'em up games with him, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of bring that over a little bit with Kiryu's
Okay.
combat into the turn-based realm. He still has the three different stances, and you could choose which one you want to do before every attack with Kiryu. So like one breaks
Uh,
guards pretty easily, right? As
with
Kiryu.
the
So
beast stance.
I don't know what it's called exactly. The one's yellow, one's
The
red, one's
color.
blue. It's yellow. So yellow
Yellow's
kind of
beast.
breaks cards,
Okay.
guards, excuse me. And then red does like double up attacks, but they're
Probably is more damage.
yeah, I think it might be more damage with both attacks if you like combine them both on the same enemy, but it seems like it's less damage on both attacks, but you get two turns
Are
immediately
you
with
sure it's
that.
the other color?
Blue is like a normal attack, at least from what I remember.
Okay.
So it's like
Because like
blue's the
how
top
his
one,
normal
red,
stances
and then
are.
yellow.
See how his normal stances are in the game is yellow is like beast stance. You're kind of like a little more grapply and stuff. That makes sense. You're breaking stuff. The blue one is usually his rush stance. That's usually his faster one. So that would make
Oh,
more
okay.
sense to you
So
actually
maybe it
hitting
is.
more.
Maybe it is that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
In my
then
mind, that was just like the normal one. You know. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, red is usually his dragon stance. That's his like his normal like high damage stance.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like in Gaiden, he only has two. He has his like dragon, which is his red one, and then he has the agent stance, that one with all the gadgets. That
Yeah.
is his blue one.
Get the rope and shit. He doesn't have
The
the rope.
rope.
Yeah. He did not
Yeah.
bring the rope
He's
back.
not an aged anymore, Connor.
Isn't he? I don't know. He says he's working for them. I don't know what's going on with him, honestly.
yeah, he kind of still is, but
Kind of still is, kind of isn't type thing.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, dude, this game it just has so much to do in it. There's a whole fucking Pokemon thing going
Yeah,
on
I
here.
heard about this.
It is wild. I'm like, dude, there's a whole Pokemon game in this fucking game with like gyms too. Like, there's literally just like
Gyms.
Nintendo. Don't look at Power World. Look at these fucking guys. What are they doing? Like, maybe we should start suing them. Like, I don't know. There's a Pokemon Snap minigame. You could ride like this fucking trolley around Honolulu and like take pictures of fucking strippers, like male strippers. You're just like, yeah, I need you. I forget what the reasoning was why this guy wants pictures. They're
It
called
doesn't need to be a reason.
oh, there's a
It's
reason
fun.
though. There's a reason though. It's like some guy needs pictures of these weirdos, right? And so you ride around on the
Oh,
trolley and you take pictures, and like they all like it's exactly like Pokemon Snap. They'll be doing like cute little things, or they'll pop
poses.
out real quick, and you got to take a picture fast and stuff. And so there's just like so much to do. And Daniel, I haven't even unlocked the fucking Animal Crossing island. I haven't. I'm 12. What did I say? I was 14 hours. I'm 14
Yeah.
hours into this game. I haven't even seen the fucking island yet. I haven't even fucking seen it. I'm
This
like,
game's
this is
massive.
an endless game. I'm like, dude, it is gonna be so long. I'm 14 hours in, and it's like I probably got another 60 to go. It's just like
That's awesome.
Jesus. Yeah, so I'm really into the story this far too. The main story seems pretty interesting where it's going. There's a lot going on there, so I'm just different chapters. You're doing different things and all that, obviously, and yeah, I don't know. I'm very into it thus far. There's one new character that I haven't been sold on yet. You'll meet him when you get to Honolulu, and
Is it a party member?
yeah, it's a party member. It kind of seems like he's the main guy with you, at least right now. Him and Kiryu are kind of your main party members. I'm kind of missing Adarashi-san and Naba at the moment. I'm kind of like, I kind of want them back.
Oh, they don't come?
No, they didn't come to Honolulu. I'm assuming they do at some point. They must. Like, why are
What
they
about
on the?
Saichan?
Nah, didn't come either. Didn't come either.
No.
Oh,
See,
dude, did you
okay,
do?
I'll
Did
tell
you
you
do
where
the
I
whole
am.
date thing with?
I'll tell you where I am.
Yeah.
I am. I did the date. I did the setup. I did the date, and then like I talked back to Nanba and Adachi,
Okay.
and they were like tell me how wrong I was about
Yeah.
proposing.
Yeah.
And then I was
Which
gonna
he
go
was.
like
Like, bro, what are you doing? Stop. You're on the first date.
yeah.
Why are you proposing? You're not
I don't
proposing,
know.
are you? That's what I thought.
And then it was like, oh, I should go talk to her again. I saved right there.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I'm like 2 hours in.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So
I haven't. That's where I'm at. I
So,
haven't really gotten. I haven't seen her again.
there's a bit of a time jump where you're
Okay.
at. So there's
I mean, there
time
already
jump
kind of
and then
is from where 7 was, right?
yeah.
So it's
Oh
like
yeah,
3
it's
years,
2 years. Yeah, it might have been 3. Yeah, you might be right. But
something like that. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, I mean, multiple years have passed between 7 and this. But yeah, man, I'm super into it thus far. fun to be back in this world. It's such a wacky, fun little world going on here, and can't wait to see where the story goes. Can't wait to get into this island and stuff. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface with this game. Really, haven't even. I'm still seeing tutorials pop up left and right for different mechanics and different side things that are in the game. So I feel like I'm just starting, really. So I will be
So I have a
talking about it
question.
more in the weeks to come for sure.
Are you ever controlling Kiryu?
No,
Or
yeah, yeah.
is
I
is
didn't. I don't know if
Kasuga?
because it did seem like that beforehand. That like at some point, one of the
Yeah.
chapters is gonna switch, and you're gonna be playing as Kiryu in the
Mhm.
main thing. I thought that as well. But thus far, he is just a
He is
party
just with
member.
Kasuga?
Yeah, he's just
Okay.
with Kasuga, and he thus far he's just a party member. I don't know if at some point you will straight up just be playing as Kiryu.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. That's exactly what I thought too. Is there'd be two like separate storylines going in there. Obviously, they'll converge at some point.
I was
But
thinking it
like,
was gonna be more like Zero.
yeah, we switch to
But Zero's maybe not exactly like Zero because Zero is like Majima and Kiryu are like two different campaigns basically
yeah.
that don't really intersect very
Oh,
much.
okay, okay.
Um, but like I did think you were going to be playing basically two campaigns
Yeah,
with more interaction, but like I thought it would be two separate things. But it sounds like it's
that's
more
what I thought too.
interconnected
Yeah,
than
but maybe not. Maybe you are just playing as
they're
Ichiban as
maybe
the
they're
main character the whole time. Yeah.
yeah their ties are just way more
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the one thing I do like about the new character. I forget his name right now, but the new party member is he just points out how crazy Ichiban and Kiryu are. We're like they'll just be like, no, we're gonna fight all of them, and he's just like, are you guys fucking crazy? What are you guys talking about? What do
This
you
guy
mean we're
doesn't
gonna?
know in Yakuza 5, Kiryu fights like 300 guys. It's
He doesn't
insane.
understand that
Dude, he's on the
Kiryu has
dock
taken down
and he
armies.
just yeah, Kiryu fights and he literally there's missiles
Takes
being
down
launched
an
at Kiryu
army.
in 5. And he fights like hundreds of men on a dock.
Yeah.
Like Kiryu's a god.
The new guy is very much the guy that's pointing out how batshit crazy this all is. Like you guys realize you're fucking nuts, right?
Insane. One more question too.
Sure.
Are you playing in English or are you playing in Japanese?
English, yeah. I can't do the
You're playing the
Japanese, yeah.
English.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the main things holding me back from going back and playing the other ones, honestly, is
Hmm.
no English dub.
How
And, like
is Yang
barrier
Ya?
entry and stuff. Say that again?
How is Yang Ya's performance as Kiryu? How do you like it?
Oh,
Because I hear a lot of complaints.
yeah, so I don't really notice like it being bad or anything. It's and maybe that's because I never played it in Japanese, so I don't already have that like image in my head of what Kiryu should sound like and stuff of the Japanese version. But yeah, I really haven't noticed, like, it doesn't come off to me as like, oh, that's bad voice acting when I'm in cutscenes or anything. So
What about does it not throw you from what you heard from him in 7
not
in
really.
English?
Yeah, like I wouldn't
Okay.
if you would have told me that's the same one from 7,
Same as 7? Okay.
I would have never noticed it. Granted, I'm not really the guy to be asking that. I don't really pick up on
Sure.
those type of things anyways. So, but yeah, he's been completely fine to me. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah, loving it thus far, man.
I'm playing
Can't
in
wait to play
Japanese.
more. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to let me know how that works actually when you get to Honolulu, because there's points where it's supposed to be like Ichiban's talking in Japanese to someone that only speaks English, so he's like trying to, but they're both speaking English right then, so it's like very
Can
weird.
I say something?
Yeah,
In Tekken 8, there are all these characters speaking all these different languages. So like someone's speaking French, Italian, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, and none of them acknowledge it, and they all understand each other.
yeah.
It's incredible.
It's like,
They
I
don't miss a beat.
what's going on there.
Don't even miss a beat. They just know exactly what each other are saying, and it's different languages. It's awesome. I don't get it.
There's a really fun delivery mini game in this game in Infinite Wealth. It's
Oh, is
apparently
it like the bicycle one?
yeah, apparently it's very inspired by what's that taxi game that everyone's Crazy Taxi, right?
Crazy
That
Taxi.
Sega owns. Yeah, apparently it's very inspired by that, so it's just kind of like a rip off of that, but in this game. Again, another side thing where you're just like, what the fuck? How big is this game? But it
That
was
is
like,
Sega. Crazy Taxi is Sega.
yeah, exactly. You see why they were able to do that, right? It's like they
Yeah.
were just able to rip off Crazy Taxi, and yeah, it's super fun. I was playing that for a minute. I was just like, damn, this is
Cool.
really addictive. It's like,
They had that collect the cans in 7.
yeah, yeah. I would say it's way more fun than that. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah. But yeah, I'm scared to get to this island because I'm like, how fun is that gonna fucking be? I'm gonna pour like 50 hours into that,
Yeah.
and then fucking Rebirth's gonna be out.
You don't need another game.
No, I mean, I guess I don't. Yakuza Infinite Wealth will be the infinite game, I guess.
Let's go.
Let's go. That's all we need. All right. Well, I'll talk about more Infinite Wealth next week.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure you're putting in more hours as well, so we'll both be talking about this for like
This is
the
the only
next
game I'm
month.
playing now. I beat
Yeah.
those other 2 games to get right to this game.
Yeah, that was
was my
smart of
goal.
you to get those out of
Yeah.
the way and then jump into this. Yeah,
I was thinking because I was hearing how long this thing is. I'm like, dude,
it's
I just
long.
gotta get through
It's
the other
long.
2 real
It's
quick.
long,
Yeah.
especially if you get into the side stuff. I've already almost done. I think I popped the trophy for doing 10 side quests already. So it's like, oh my god, I'm only like
How many
39.
is there?
There's a lot.
There's already
There's a
so many
trophy for
sub-stories.
50, so it's like, oh
Yeah.
boy, yeah, it's gonna be a
Oh,
long game,
no.
folks. So we'll be talking
Are
about
they-
this for the next month.
Do they have like a good amount already in the like Yokohama area? Like, is there...
No, I don't think there were any
Okay.
that weren't
So
like
they saved 'em for
mandatory. There's a
Honolulu?
couple that like start actually in Yokohama and then they
Okay.
carry over into Honolulu in like interesting
Okay.
ways. Yeah, so there's a couple that started, but those are mandatory. They like make you do that because it's not like you can go back and forth. Which maybe you can at some point. Maybe like end game, that'd be cool if you could just like somehow load because they have the whole map from the last game in this game. You know, so it's like
Yeah.
maybe at some point you could just load back to the other one. Maybe in like I know there's a big post game thing, so maybe in the post game they let you do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, usually they do, but usually because normally it's not that big of a deal because you just take a taxi and it's
Yeah.
just in
I
Japan.
guess now you're just taking a plane, right?
Yeah,
Something like that.
but that's like trying to get wrapping your head around the idea of that. It's a little bit weirder.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe that's why maybe it could just be post game stuff or like got taken
Yeah.
so seriously. I don't know. But whatever,
True.
we'll be talking about more Infinite Wealth for the next month, I'd imagine. So
Easily.
look forward to that.
Because I
People.
think Sims is playing it too.
Sims is also playing it, yeah, and he's in love with it apparently. So
Yeah.
it's like, all right,
Let's
that's
get
cool.
everyone as
That's
a
cool.
fan. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
It's gonna
go.
be a fun month. All right, people, that's gonna do it for Nerd Guys Podcast, episode 208. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to us over at youtube.com/Nerdic Gods. You can also find us available on all audio platforms. Daniel, anything else you want to say?
Ani?
All right, bye, everybody.
Hi, everybody.